My name is Dr. Kevin Pecca. I wanted to make a podcast that exposes people to the true miracles of life and health. All the guests on this show have been specially picked because they bring something positive to the world. They have some of the most amazing and inspiring life stories. These people have a passion for living, healing, and leaving the world better than they found it. There is something inside these people that made them keep fighting through all the tough times, even when people told them it was not possible. They carried on and made their lives beautiful again. And now they are sharing their experiences with the world. This is the Expect Miracles podcast. Enjoy the show. Dr. David Ridos is a chiropractor out of Norway. He was a high-level ice hockey player at one point, which pointed him in the direction of his true calling of being a healer and chiropractor. He has an extremely inspirational story and shares with us some pointers to help find your passion in life. Dr. David has done several mission trips all around the world. He is extremely good at what he does and is always spreading the chiropractic message. Please welcome Dr. David Ridos. All right, today on the podcast, we have David Ridos. He is a chiropractor out of Norway at the Institute for Human Potential 360 Clinic. David, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Dr. Pecca. Thanks a lot for having me. It's an honor and a privilege, and I'm looking forward to getting into it and giving the people some good stuff tonight.
Absolutely. So, David, where are you from originally?
So I was born and raised in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. So just about an hour from Toronto and then about an hour to Buffalo, New York. So
okay.
Grew up there till I was about 19, and then I went off to school, and I really haven't been living there since. So it's been a while.
Did you go to school in Canada or the U.S.?
So I did all my schooling in the U.S. So I started at a school, Lake Forest College.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's about an hour north of Chicago towards Wisconsin. Went there for a year and a half and then transferred to Fredonia State University, which is...
That's by Buffalo, right?
Yep, exactly. And I played ice hockey at both schools, so that's why I chose to do that. And then from Fredonia, I graduated there in 2012, and then in 2013, I started my chiropractic education at Life University in Marietta, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Did you play Fredonia's club team or their D3 team?
The D3.
Okay, yeah, you guys are good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we did all right when I was there. And it was a great place to go to school, a great program, and I had a blast. So a lot of those lessons playing hockey just from a young age, they carry over into life and into chiropractic. And anybody listening that's a student or a chiropractor who's been an athlete, you can know what I'm talking about. So
absolutely. And what was your intention? Were you trying to make it to like the next level, NHL, or were you going just strictly for an education? Obviously, you're trying to make it to the next level.
Of course. So yeah, being Canadian, I was telling someone this today in the practice. They were asking me about hockey, and I said, well, I'll put it this way. It's basically like it's in our blood. I grew up backyard rink. You put the skates on and you're in the downstairs hallway. You step out the back door, you're on the ice. That's how me and my brother and sister grew up, and playing eventually junior B, junior A, getting recruited to go to school. That's the dream, right? And I think the biggest thing about being a student athlete, and especially hockey, is that when you go, that's all that's on your mind. That's all you're focused on is just hockey, and you really don't care about the school. However, to me, the biggest thing about education and what you get out of it as a human being is you change, you evolve as a person. And if you can walk across the stage at the end of the 4 or the 5 year period and say, wow, I've really evolved. I am not the same human that came in here 4 or 5 years ago. Then you got it. Then you got your money's worth.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it really doesn't matter what the degree says. That's just a piece of paper. It's all the things that you learn, how to be a grown-up, how to communicate with people, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of others, how to be a good person, a good human being.
Absolutely. And the connections you make at the school is huge.
100%. And one of my coaches at Fredonia, actually, our assistant coach is a great guy, also Canadian. And he said to me, basically, he's like, be a good person and good things will happen for you in life. And I was 22 years old when I heard that, and it stuck with me. And because at that time, you probably are doing things and once in a while that maybe don't reflect that or reflect who you truly are. But when you kind of take a step back and say, wow, like this does matter. And so it was a great experience overall.
Beautiful. So what happened at the end of your 4 years at Fredonia? What was going through your head?
So this is how I got into chiropractic. We'll segue right into that. So I was playing hockey and I had to stay a fifth year at Fredonia because I changed my major or double major and my eligibility was all done for hockey. So I stayed on as like a student assistant, was doing strength conditioning, and that's originally what I was going to get into. I was accepted to a bunch of graduate schools to do like strength conditioning program and master's degree and all that. And I love training. I still train today. I love it. It's super fun. And I wanted to do that for a living and help people that way. And my best friend actually from back home in Hamilton, he's a professional hockey player now, but he was going to Princeton at the time, playing for Princeton's hockey team. So it was his junior year and he suffered a really, really bad head injury, and multiple actually. So you can call it a concussion. You can diagnose it however you want. The short of it is he wasn't able to play. He wasn't able to sit in a room with a light on, be around people, the whole thing. And so this went on for, 9, 10, 11 months. And when you're in pain, what do you want to do when you're in pain? You want to suppress the pain. And so you do that by any means necessary. And when that starts happening and you've been to all these neurologists and top NHL people that are trying to help you with your health and you're not getting any answers, and the only answer seems like taking medication, and and deep down that's not it. Well, you feel pretty lost. So as I'm going through my fourth year, this was all going on. And so
you were watching this happen to him.
Yeah. Well, this is my best friend. He's like my brother. And I had experienced a bunch of concussions and head injuries when I was playing hockey, and God willing, I willed myself out of it. And it was one of the toughest times in my life. And I related, and I know it's like, you can't do anything for someone you love and care about. And before the summer, I said, when are you going to be home? We were talking, it was about the end of May. He said, I'm not coming home. I said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to live with this chiropractor outside of Boston. And I said, well, who's the chiropractor? He's like, oh, my roommate, who I knew very well. He's like, it's his dad. And he said he could help me. And he said, I've tried everything and I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to go and live there for the summer and see what happens. And I said, okay, well, I don't know much about chiropractic. I think I'd been once or twice. But the funny thing is, I had heard that chiropractic could help with head injuries. And to me, I was brought up living healthy, and we were a healthy family, and I didn't really take medication, and we always ate great food. We never had junk in the house, and I didn't have cable TV growing up, so I was always outside. And it just made sense to me. And I said, well, okay, well, the brain's inside the skull, it's connected to the neck, and if you're getting your head banged around, well, if the neck starts, that just kind of made sense to me. So I said, okay, well, let me know if I can do anything. So the summer goes by, I don't really talk to him much, and I saw him. He came home at the beginning of July, and he still wasn't great. And I was like, man, is this going to work? He's only got a month and a half left to go, and then he's going to go back to school, start his season. Is he going to sit out a whole another year?
Yeah.
Then about mid-August, he just calls me out of the blue, and he's like, hey, man, I need you to send me some workouts. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I just saw you. You're kind of a mess.
You're not ready for it, yeah.
And he's like, no, man, I'm feeling good, man. I was like, okay, awesome. So I made him up some workouts as I was doing that strength conditioning at the time. And he goes back to school, back to Princeton, does preseason. He's all good. He ends up being named captain, starts the season. He starts playing. He starts lighting it up. Awesome. And this is where I knew that chiropractic, it just all became clear to me. So he said, hey, you got to come down and visit me. And I'd never been down to Princeton yet in the 4 years that he had been there because I was busy with my own hockey. And this year, my fifth year that I was there, I had off. So I'm like, yeah, I'll come down. So I take the train from Buffalo for a weekend. They got one game, and who's there? The chiropractor.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Right. So I had heard a lot about this guy, and I heard all these things his name's Dr. Kevin Pallas. He's my greatest mentor. I do still mentor coaching with him now. He's out of Boston, out of Norwood, Massachusetts, and he owns the New Renaissance Coaching for Chiropractic group. I just heard all this stuff about him. He helps people with addictions, helps people with relationships, and I'm thinking oh, this guy sounds amazing, but what really does that have to do with chiropractic?
Right.
We go to the game, and I'm standing with him, and he's just got this, when you meet people and they just have that essence, they have a power, there's something, energy, it's something to them, and you're like, I got to be around this person as much as possible because he has what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I said, well, Mark tells me you do this, this, and this, and why?
Why is it working?
Yeah. He didn't talk about the nervous system. He didn't talk about anatomy. He didn't talk about physiology, biomechanics, anything. He just talked about helping people. He said to me, when you have somebody in your corner who is willing to do whatever it takes and is willing to give 100% commitment, and so is the person that you're helping, he's like, you can get results every single time. He goes, it doesn't matter what the diagnosis is. it doesn't matter what this person said or that person said. He said, the body has an innate intelligence of life force that we are healthy 100%. We just have to not have any interference in the entire system that controls the body. And he said, that's your brain and your spinal cord, your central nervous system. That's the only thing he said basically about that in some roundabout way. And I said,
it makes sense.
I said, I want to know more.
Yeah.
But the thing was about it, listen, I'm not a school guy. So undergraduate chiropractic school, like the academics I got through, but like,
right.
I'm just going to be frank. And any students listening out there, you need to hear this. It's not about the academics. Yes, we all know it. We need to know it. I get it. But it's more than that. Right. What I was seeing was that there's something that I saw one of my brother go through this crazy, hard, painful time. And I was like, I would never want anyone else to go through that. So we're all chiropractors, and you meet people as you go through life now, and myself included, and say, oh, they would be a great chiropractor. So this is what happened. And he called me. He just started calling me up. And I was like, man, this guy, and when he gets on the phone, like he's going, and this guy, you know, you're like, wow, like tons of energy, whatever. He sent me a book called Make Your Life Extraordinary by Dr. Guy Reekman, president of Life University, one of great mentor to me as well. And he said, just read this book. It's going to change your life, and it's changed thousands. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I started reading it. I couldn't put it down. 2 days, I'm done. I call him up. I'm like, Dr. Kevin, the book was awesome. And he said, Dave, the moment I met you, I knew it. You're a chiropractor. You have to go to this school, Life University. And I heard Life University. I kind of thought it was made up.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I said, well, I'm trying to do this. And he just said to me, he's like, Dave, people like Mark, they don't get help. They get help from once-in-a-lifetime chiropractors. They don't get help from just anybody. And that really stuck with me. And he's like, if you want to help people, he's like, I know you want to do training and all stuff, but you really want to make a big impact in the world, and you really want to touch people and really get into their soul and really just make a difference and change their life and be a part of their journey. He's like, this is how you're going to do it. It was very profound. So I just went down to Life in that summer.
Question for you. Have you yourself been under any chiropractic care at this point?
I had been to a chiropractor when I was younger, when I had my concussions.
Okay.
But honestly, like, I wasn't told, and this is the whole thing.
You weren't educated on what it's really all about.
I wasn't educated on anything. I wasn't told anything. It was just come in, come back tomorrow, whatever. And so when I met him, when I went back to school, even before he had approached me with all this, I just started seeing a chiropractor. Because I saw that my buddy, how much it helped him. I was like, well, it makes sense to be healthy. I was doing all this anatomy, physiology in my undergraduate at the time. So I'm like, okay, like I get it, the body, I know the body. Well, I want to see what this is about. And then once he really explained it to me and I got the big idea, that was in 2012. So I've been under consistent chiropractic care for, the last 6.5 years. And the results obviously are astronomical. Like I remember within the first year, I was like, man, like there's just something different about me. Like, and it wasn't anything to do physically.
It's like the light switch went on up your head. Did someone turn the power back on?
All connected up here, thinking clear, making better decisions, having better relationship. One thing big with me is reactions. When I was a younger kid, I grew up in a very blue collar city, Ontario, and it's very chip on your shoulder, kind of kill or be killed. Mm-hmm. And that's like the mentality of a lot of people. And when you grow up like that, you think everyone's kind of out to get you, or someone does something and you just want to go 160 at them. And so that started to change. And I'm like, man, like this is a lot more than just even head stuff. Like, because I was still in that mindset, even though I was hearing the big idea, it takes years. It's layers and layers and layers. And we talk about this. I talk about this in my practice to all our practice members and saying like, if you've had this, whatever's been going on for 10 years, I'm not saying it's going to take 10 years to be symptom free. Absolutely not. Symptoms usually, as we know, go away pretty quickly. But I was like, you're going to start experiencing some things like emotional stuff. Things are to come up for you from your past that you may have buried or not been aware of, or have happened to you that, again, you weren't that aware of. You're going to go through some stuff. And this is what we're here for. Yeah. I always say on the first day, I said, I just want to let you know, chiropractic is not about your pain. It's about your life. And I go from there.
Definitely.
That's how I got into chiropractic. That's my story.
That's unreal. I had a bunch of ice hockey concussions too. It saved my life. It legit saved my life.
You know what I'm talking about?
I was about to end it one day. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And that's when I talk to people like you and other doctors that get it, that are really sending the chiropractic message. It's great to hear. It's great that there's people out there like you spreading that message.
Well, I appreciate that, Doc. I told the story to someone today. To me, it's very simple. You always have to have a why, and you don't have to have a story like mine or your own personal story. However, especially students listening out there, have a why, have a purpose. Because when you have that, the big idea just explodes.
Yeah.
It explodes, and then people will start to get it.
As I'm sure you know, there's a lot of future docs in chiropractic school that are a little lost and just don't have much direction. What would your advice for them be to just help them just ground themselves and find their passion? And because there's a bunch of different avenues you can go.
For sure. Yeah, great question. I think first and foremost, I'd say find a great mentor.
Oh, yeah.
That's number one. So for me, I'm very blessed.
A couple. Yeah, a couple's good.
Or a couple. And I have a few now. So my greatest mentor, Dr. Kevin Pallas, that's who helped my friend that I was talking about. He's still my greatest mentor, and he's really paved the way for me. It's not only someone pat you on the back when you've done great, but to hold you accountable, call you on your BS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Call you on your stuff, because we all have it, and we all like to tell everyone a story.
Yeah.
They're just stories, right? And so Sid Williams says it's better to be perfect or near perfect than perfect, because the right fruit rots. Because we're chiropractors, we're not God's gift. We're not. Doctor means teacher, right? Not God. And we have to do the work ourselves in any service profession. You have to do the work internally. It's constant. So as a student, I'd say get a mentor and start doing some work on yourself. Really start seeing where you can improve, things in your past that you maybe haven't dealt with that you have to clear out. That's a big one. Because that will come up. And if you are not 100% when you walk into that office, when you walk into your practice, wherever that may be, if it's student clinic, outpatient clinic, if it's an exam, whatever, you're not going to be able to serve it and do it at the highest level possible. I just want to share some of my greatest mentors. So Dr. Kevin Pallas, the New Renaissance, he's out of Boston, Massachusetts, or just outside. Right now, Dr. Michael B. Dibley, who I'm working over here in Norway with at the Institute for Human Potential.
He's an amazing guy. He was on the podcast a couple weeks ago. You must be thrilled.
It's been a great experience. I get to see him every day, and we work awesome together, and I've learned very much from him in a short period of time. Another great mentor of mine is Dr. Brett Jones out of Oakland, the Source Chiropractic with Kairos Training Culture. Amazing human being, one of the best people I know, very genuine, good soul. So for me, I had mentorship as I was going through school and a couple. So I had all these three starting at school, middle, and finishing, and they're all still in that circle. Have like that inner circle of mentors and people you can rely on and other people who you have to go up to their level. You don't ever go down to someone else's level. You bring them up to yours. So, someone who's doing something that you want to do and then find out how to do it. And then you always put your own flavor, your own spin, because you're your own person. But get around people that are doing what you want to do or you envision in doing, and ask them every question, hang around them, go out to dinner, call them, go on calls, join their coaching group, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's perfectly said, because a lot of people are trying to figure out how they get from A to B, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like, find somebody that's doing exactly what you want to do, and like you said, make it your own, put your own spin on it, and have that person mentor you and coach you until you get to that level where you're at. That was perfectly said.
Yeah.
So you're at Life University now. How was school for you?
School is awesome. Life University is an amazing institution. It's a great place. I don't have enough great things to say about it. I had an amazing experience. I met some lifelong friends and colleagues. And I think what's great about chiropractic school, and I've only been to a handful of the schools, so I can't really say what goes on in other schools, but at Life, it's just a big family. As soon as you walk on campus, everyone that would come visit our school from other schools would be like, man, like, you guys are so lucky. You guys are so blessed. You guys are so fortunate. And I'm like, yeah, we are.
I know, yeah.
It's a big family, and it's a great place for growth, for support, leaning on other people, really shedding your layers and really becoming who you truly are. It's just an open community, an open environment. Everyone's loving. You walk around campus, everyone's, hey, what's up? How you doing? It's amazing. And also being around great city, Atlanta, and there's lots to do. It's a great place for amazing chiropractors that are already practicing, and for seminars. Probably the most seminars come through Life University that I know of. Maybe Life West is somewhere in the same range, but you got amazing Life Vision. They do 4 times a year, and they have some amazing speakers. I know the Atlanta Rubicon is coming up. There's going to be some amazing chiropractors there. So yeah, it's just a great environment. It's just a very positive, healing, uplifting space, and you can really be who you truly are there. You don't have to hide.
Absolutely.
That's where growth happens.
Yeah, and so Dave, getting to the near end of chiropractic school, if you don't really know what you're doing, can be kind of scary. So what was your plan at the end of school? Yeah, where did you want to take it?
Yeah, so again, great question. These are all things that went through my mind. I know they're going through students' minds. So for me, originally, I wanted to open my own practice right at the get-go. And so...
In Atlanta?
No. Well, here's the thing. At first, I thought I wanted to stay in Atlanta. And then I thought I wanted to go here and there and everywhere. And then I wanted to go back home. And then I wanted to go out west in Canada. So I didn't know where I wanted to live. And so for me, I say, well, I'm not going to go and just set up a practice anywhere. And then if I don't like it,
right,
whatever. So I had an opportunity with a chiropractor that I know back in Hamilton, where I'm from, to take over a practice. And I just wasn't ready to do that yet. And I wanted to explore other options. And so how I kind of came into Norway was, so this is about last February. I graduated in September 2017. So this was February 2000. So about almost a year before I graduated, I was like, okay, well, I don't know where I want to go. So I think it would be a good experience to go live in a different country. Because if I can do chiropractic there, I can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So I wasn't even really thinking where. And a friend of mine went on Dr. Peter Morgan's Chiro Mission, Haiti mission trip, and which I had been on twice already. And Dr. Michael B. Dibley was on it. And she comes back and she says, hey, I met this chiropractor who's in Norway, he's American, and I just think you'd really resonate with him. I actually told him about you.
No way. That's awesome.
Because he said he was maybe looking for some new grads to bring in. And you should give him a call. And I said, okay, sounds good. I just didn't think anything of it. This was in November. And then February rolls along and I'm listening to the Artful Chiropractor podcast and I'm hearing this guy. I'm like, man, whatever this guy's saying, like, he's awesome. And then he said, oh, he practiced in Norway. I was like, oh, this is the guy. I was like, I got to reach out to him now. So I emailed him and we started communicating, talking, and we started to get to know each other. And he said, well, hey, why don't you come out here this summer? This was last June, and see it and see, like, let's see if we're a good fit. And at this time, I also had joined their 360 Global Mastermind coaching group, which, again, I'm just talking about mentors. So that's one of my mentors. And we have that group, but it's full of chiropractors, other professionals, and students. And we have calls every week. It's one-on-one coaching. And it's a great way to, again, see what you're doing, see what you want to do, the people that are doing it, and then learn from them. And so I went out to Norway last summer with myself and Dr. Brett Jones. And I loved it. The office is an amazing space. It's exactly how I wanted to practice. It's everything that I wanted. I just don't know what it looked like. And as soon as I got in the office, I was like, this is it.
Beautiful.
So we were a good fit. We obviously get along great and work together great. So they had offered me a position and I graduated September. I came out here November and then officially started at the end of December. So I've been at it for only 4 months. And it's been the most humbling experience I've had this far in my life, is being a chiropractor in active practice.
Was the language a barrier at all, or?
Yes and no. Most people in Norway speak great English. You get the odd person that they're not very comfortable maybe speaking it. And again, I'm learning Norwegian. It's not an easy language to learn, but working at it. And it's the same thing for us. So it's been great. And I mean, again, communication, as you know, as most chiropractors know, it's a lot deeper than words, right? So, obviously on first visits, ROFs, you need to have great speaking. So sometimes when there's somebody who isn't as comfortable in English or just maybe speaks mostly Norwegian, that will go to Dr. Michael. He's been here 9 years. He speaks fluent now. And his partner, Dr. Katrina Vala, who's a co-owner of the 360 Clinic, she's from Norway. She's Norwegian, so it's no problem.
So Dave, tell me about these chiro mission trips you guys do. It sounds amazing to be able to provide care to otherwise people that probably wouldn't receive it. There's probably not any chiropractors in the area, don't know what chiropractic is. It looks like it's such a beautiful thing to be able to go to a different country and just adjust a ton of people that have never been adjusted before.
Oh, absolutely. So I've been on 4. 2 of them, I went to the Haiti and the Dominican Republic. That was with Dr. Peter Morgan while I was in school. And chiro missions. And I mean, I think he's done over 80 mission trips. Actually, myself and Dr. Michael are on a call with him last night because we're going to be going and helping him out in September back down in Haiti. And you know what? It's just, I went on when I was in 5th quarter and then right before I graduated. And it's one of those things that you go on and when you get back, the first time I went, I was kind of in shock because it's going to be rough. It's going to be a lot different than what you've ever seen before. And you just get back and you see the world differently.
Absolutely, yeah.
I remember walking through the airport. This is my second time I got back, and I'm walking in Atlanta from the terminal, and I grab my bags and I'm super happy to be home. I'm exhausted, but very fulfilled. And this girl, she's talking to her mom and saying how she doesn't like how her dad's suitcases don't match, so they need to get him a Louis Vuitton one. Again, not good or bad, not right or wrong. When you go to a place and people literally don't have any clothes to wear,
puts it in perspective real quick.
It does, and we could all do a little
better at that.
more efficient job at just being thankful and grateful for what we have. So it's just great to give something back to people. Mission trips are great because it's the true essence of chiropractic. It's giving, loving, doing, and serving out of sense of abundance and expecting nothing in return. And what you do get in return is like lifelong friendships. Like I've gone back to Haiti twice, and there's people there that you adjust again, or they remember your name because they're down there all the time. So these people are actually getting quite regular chiropractic care. Like they're getting monthly care.
Yeah.
Because they're going to all the same areas in the cities and towns. So I would recommend for anyone to go on that trip. And what's great about it is like, it's not comfortable. You don't stay in a nice place.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's sticky.
A lot of personal growth at the end, probably. Yeah.
100%. And it's always a great group. Dr. Peter Morgan's awesome, and the other docs that are on the trip. So recommend that to anybody. And then the other two I went on, we don't really call them mission trips, but it's a foundation through my greatest mentor, Dr. Kevin Pallas, with the new Renaissance called Love Has No Color. That's out in Fort Peck Reservation in Poplar, Montana.
Wow.
So it's on the Native American reservation. They've been going there for over 10 years.
Wow.
And so they go at Christmas on the reservation, and they go for the summertime. And there's always a big project that we do. So like last year, we built a big outdoor hockey and soccer.
No way.
We deliver groceries. You see people.
So it's not just chiropractic.
It's humanitarian.
Helping the entire community involved. Yeah.
They have a chiropractic office out there now with a life graduate who's a chiropractor out there. It gives people like a sense that they're cared for. We give kids backpacks with school supplies. Again, this place, what's interesting about this situation is this place is in the United States, but the conditions are like you're in the third world.
Yeah.
You walk down the street and all the businesses are boarded up with painted signs.
Yeah.
You know, houses don't have windows. To think it's in your own backyard, it wakes you up pretty quickly when you get out there. And so I've been on that 2 years in a row, and I think I'll be going back this summer. It's in August. I think this year's August 9th to 11th. It's a great experience. There's a great group of chiropractors, and lots of practice members from chiropractors are there. And we have a naturopath who's there, and she brings her whole crew. Just family members come and chip in. It's a great experience for anyone just looking to give back. It's amazing.
Beautiful. Dr. Dave, what do you hope to accomplish in the next couple of years at your chiropractic clinic? What type of patients do you usually like to see?
So when I was in school, you go to a lot of seminars, meet a lot of chiropractors that are seeing many, many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people a day and a week. And at first you're like, well, I want to see this number. I want to see this number. And what I've learned, and I've only been at it for 4 months, and I've learned a lot, still have to learn. It's always a constant, never-ending progression. And I think just what I want to accomplish is just trying helping as many people as I can. And I love seeing families. I've been seeing a lot more kids lately, which is just a joy. Health starts before we're born with our parents. If we can have kids, healthier kids, we can have healthier adults. We have healthier people make a healthier planet.
Absolutely.
That's something that's stuck with me. I've learned a lot about along the way. And when you can empower a child or a teenager who's maybe going down a path that they don't want to be going down, but they don't have anyone to hold them accountable or say, hey, you can do what you want to do. You can live the life you want to live. And most people, what my biggest thing is just for people is to live their greatest life expression. And most people have been told at some point in their life, not even something physical, they've been told, emotional, that they aren't good enough. That sinks in a lot deeper than physical trauma from what I've seen. And my thing is to help people get rid of insecurity, negativity, doubt, and fear, and really realize that they have the power inside and they can do anything they want.
Absolutely.
When you get people to realize that, then they get the big idea, then they're just like, then they just shoot. They shoot to the moon. It's done. They're just on the path, and then they're never going to get off it, because regardless if they leave you or not leave you, but say they move away. I mean, that's what happens. People move, whatever. You're still going to have such a big impact in their life. They will live the life they want to live, because if you help them get the power on, and then you put input into them every time they come in the office, it's not just getting adjusted. It's 360. It's we always talking about power on, talking about innate intelligence, talking about they can do anything. They have power. They have potential. We already have 2 people that started maybe like a month ago, and now they're going to go to chiropractic school.
That's the best.
You get situations like that, and just seeing what I've learned a lot, especially from Dr. Michael B. Dibley, is seeing others succeed is one of the most joyous things you can accomplish as a human being. Mm-hmm. It's not your success, the successes of others, and you could help them celebrate that. That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Dr. Dave, I asked this question to all my guests at the end of the show. If there's one piece of advice you can give the audience through your own personal experience, what would it be?
I would say don't let someone ever tell you can't do something. It's funny, I go back and think as you're doing the self-work on your journey, my personal journey, and I had a lot of people early on in my life telling me I couldn't do this, et cetera, and that really sunk in for a while. And even getting into university and hockey and chiropractic school, it was still there. Those layers were still there. And I'm so fortunate I had great mentors, like I talked about, great people to help me shed my layers. And so for anyone out there listening to this or that's going to listen to this, just know that you have the power inside and you can do anything you want. You can live your greatest expression, whatever that looks like to you, and don't let anything or anyone ever tell you can't do it.
Well said, Doc. Well said. So, Dave, where can people find you online? You have social media platforms at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm on Instagram, just at Dr. David Ridos, Ridos. I'm on Facebook, just David Ridos. I also have a Dr. David Ridos page. I update very frequently. I'm always doing live feeds, posting photo or quotes and videos, things like that. Also, our office website is thehumanpotentialmovement.org. And I also have a link that I could give you, I'll send to you, and you could maybe post in the show notes, like to set up one-on-one calls. They're completely complimentary. I'm looking to connect with as many people as possible and just to help as many people as possible. So I'll send you that link, and you set up a time, it goes to your email, we do a Zoom call.
I really like how you guys do that. I noticed Dr. Dibley did that as well. I'd love to know how to
Yeah, well, I can show you how to do that because that's where I learned it from. And it's been awesome because you get to make more of an impact and help more people.
Yeah.
Especially for students. Again, find a mentor, get someone who can help hold you accountable so you can, again, rock out, live your greatest life expression, and then help others do the same.
Well, Dr. Dave, you have an amazing story. You're real passionate about what you do, and I know you're going to do some really big things with chiropractic and just evolving human potential in general. So thank you so much for coming on, and really appreciate it.
Thanks, Dr. Kevin. Much appreciated, and would love to do it again. So it was my honor and a privilege.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you enjoy the podcast, subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a review. It really helps boost the podcast and spread the good word. My chiropractic practice is located in West Orange, New Jersey at Montclair Upper Cervical Chiropractic. You can also find us on Facebook at Montclair Upper Cervical Chiropractic. All of my information is on my website at drkevinpecca.com, drkevinpecca.com. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Dr. Kevin Pecca for podcast episodes, patient testimonials, and educational videos. I have daily affirmations and inspirational quotes on Instagram at Easel Affirmations, EASEL Affirmations. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at drkevinpecca@gmail.com, drkevinpecca@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Cheers.